The moment something breaks, your brain does something brutal. It screams. It's ruined. And in one sense, it's right. Because you can glue it back together, you can tape it, you can hold it in place with sheer willpower. But it will never be the exact same thing it was 5 minutes before it shattered. If your goal is to rewind time and pretend nothing happened, you'll lose. Every time. But there's another way to look at it. A way that turns broken into becoming. In 15th century Japan, a bowl broke. Valuable pottery, the kind you don't just replace. Instead of throwing it away or hiding the damage, artisans repaired it with lacquer mixed with precious metal, gold, silver, sometimes even platinum. They didn't disguise the cracks, they traced them in gold. The practice is called kintsugi, literally golden joinery. And the point isn't perfection, the point is honesty. It's the decision to say, this broke, this was repaired, and now it's more interesting, more valuable, because of the story it survived. Kintsugi is rooted in wabi-sabi, a Japanese aesthetic that finds beauty in impermanence and imperfection. Not the fake, everything's fine kind of beauty. The real kind. The kind that shows up after the fall, after the failure, after the heartbreak, when you finally stop trying to erase the past and start using it. That's the shift most people never make. They keep trying to go back to how it was. Back to the old relationship. Back to the old confidence. Back to the old body. Back to the old version of themselves that didn't know what pain felt like. But life doesn't do rewinds. Time doesn't pause because you're grieving. It doesn't slow down because you're scared. It keeps moving, with or without you. So here's the real question. When something breaks, your plans, your trust, your self-image, what are you actually trying to rebuild? Because if you're trying to rebuild the old version exactly as it was, you'll stay stuck. You'll keep staring at the pieces, wishing they would undo what happened. But if you're willing to build a new version, one that's wiser, stronger, more reliable than the old, then the break becomes a beginning. Think about it. The strongest structures we have today aren't made with yesterday's materials. We've advanced, we've learned, we've engineered better solutions. And yet so many people keep trying to repair their life using the same mindset that broke it in the first place. Same habits, same excuses, same self-talk, same, I'm fine, same, I'll deal with it later. That's not healing. That's delay. Kintsugi teaches something simple but profound. Repair is a process. It's meticulous. It's patient. You gather the pieces. You sit with the damage. You apply the lacquer carefully. You let it set. Then you trace the seams with gold, slowly, deliberately, until what was shattered becomes whole again, not by pretending the cracks don't exist, but by honoring where they are. Modern psychology and self-help have picked up kintsugi as a framework for resilience for a reason. It gives you permission to stop seeing yourself as damaged goods. It reframes scars as evidence of survival, proof that you didn't just endure, you adapted. And that's what growing up really is. Adaptation. If you keep up with time, you become powerful. You become a bridge, someone who can take what was, learn from it, and still move forward with what is. That's why the most incredible elders aren't the ones who know the old ways. It's the ones who can carry wisdom forward without becoming a prisoner of the past. The ones who say, yes, I remember how it was, and I'm still learning how it is. Because when your ideas become ancient and you refuse to update them, you don't just fall behind the times, you fall behind your own potential. But when you move with time, when you stay curious, when you let the past inform you but not trap you, you become an expert at life. Not because you never broke, but because you learned how to mend beautifully. So if you're holding pieces right now, if something in your life cracked, collapsed, or completely shattered, here's your challenge. Stop asking, how do I get back to who I was? Start asking, who can I become because this happened? Gather the pieces. Be patient with the process. And when you rebuild, don't hide the seams. Trace them in gold. Because the goal isn't to be untouched. The goal is to be transformed. And if this message hit you, if you're ready to stop living in the past and start building the stronger version, then take one step today. Choose one crack you've been hiding, name it, and begin the repair. Your next chapter doesn't need to be flawless.